Yo, 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 what is going on, CoD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and we are back here at SSS1-23, where, from what we recorded or what we were viewing just a little while ago, it was a little bit more of a standoff, and now it seems as though these two massive armies maybe are either having what we would consider to be an extreme poke fest, or could be the start of a little more of a clash. Now, we're going to show you a little bit more of the field. GG83, wow. So we actually have a nice little fight that's brewing up north. However, the main forces still haven't engaged. So this to me is almost kind of like we're getting our first course without it really going in, right? Now, before we kind of zoom, let's just zoom out. I want to show you guys kind of really what we're talking about here. This is what's funny to me, is that you have big force here, but then the thing is they're kind of fighting up here, right? So I don't know if this group is staying here kind of more as a deterrent and they're just kind of playing the poke game. I love how you can kind of see the units moving to and from, right? Red being kind of which ones are engaged, not. But GGPT, they're pushing it. We got GG13 as well. On the west side here, there's also GG83. They're going up against 85 SG. There's, where's the other one here? 86 NE. And then the ones up top, right where the fight is happening, and they're kind of pulling back, which is 85 CA. So, yeah, this is going to be, I mean, again, this to me is pretty awesome because this start of this mini kind of smaller fight hopefully will lead to the big one, the big kahuna, if you will. Let's get some Agua. I'm pretty excited. All right. Timeborn, Sword Oath getting drawn down, going right for the kill. If so, we got Vicious Strike getting thrown down here from Majin. This is the one where it's like the big bow and arrow when it does 3 strikes going across, or I should say going individuals. Nice Shadow Games getting thrown out there. It looks like hitting almost up to 3, if not 3. Bombs away being thrown down. I think we had a time bomb being thrown down earlier too as well. Another time bomb being thrown down. Trying to make sure you're getting out of harm's way as much as possible. And remembering, I think it has a 10-second timer, up to 3 units that it can damage, right? Including the one that it was set on. Oh, wow. Dude, here we go. Are we seeing the YOLO? Oh my gosh. GG83 making the move here on 85 SG. This could be pretty cool. They're engaging, but then they're pulling back. What is happening? And in the meantime, you got 85 or 86 NE. 2 minutes left until their flag. 2.5 minutes left until their flag is done. This is, it is, right? It makes you wonder on, well, hey, are we going to try and push the flag here before it's done, so that way we can limit the territory expand? Or are we going to let them build it and then have them come and push on our territory so you can fight? Again, it is interesting when you just kind of think about the dynamic of you know, who's pushing who, in what situations do you want to fight more in, which ones do you want to try and be the aggressor in, which ones do you want to try and be the defender, so maybe you can counter push right at certain points. And then here with GGPT, GG13 pushing 85 CA, and then also from the north here 85 SG, you're kind of fighting, you know, almost a 2-on-1 the closer you get to the flags. So, you know, in this case, if they're going to fight, they really should fight together as a unit, right? So if you're pushing from the top, don't let this push go to waste. If you're doing that, you need to start putting some pressure on the PvP units over here. That would be the time for the GG83 group to then start pushing in here east, so you can alleviate some of that pressure, refocus some of those efforts, and then it makes you kind of pushing on 2 or 3 fronts a little bit more viable, right? Where now you're kind of creating some more general advantages. Sort of, oh, there's the one arrow going down, another arrow going down. I'm going to be honest, it actually is a pretty cool animation. Kind of reminds me, I was watching Scorpion King yesterday, and if you remember The Rock, who plays the protagonist or main character in the movie, he, you know, like one of the things he has is like this giant bow that one of the troops at a banquet one time was trying to pull and was just unable to do so, right? It kind of gives me that impression, right, where you kind of get to the end of the movie and he's like, you know, charging it up. So it's kind of cool, just I guess that, I don't even know why that thought came to mind. Time Bomb, Material Fangs, Divine Mercy getting thrown down. Looks like a tier of Arbin that just got thrown down too as well. Yeah, man, we are. I mean, this is bananas, baby. This is what we're talking about here. And what I am talking about, I love it. Lots and lots of PvP. Running, was that a running Shadow Games? Agua here. Nice. Are they pushing off this a little bit now? What's happening up north? So GGPT13 applying a little bit more pressure here now on them, right? Pushing a little bit back there, kind of splitting some of the forces. Wow, now you're getting a lot of people that are moving off the flag. This is the moment, dude. This is where GG83 should be pushing in. You have removed people off the flags. You are applying a level of pressure from the north that is forcing units to move away. This is your moment to strike, but yet they're not going in. Ugh, it hurts, man. Like, this, to me, a little missed opportunity. There's still a little bit of a window, but man, that could have, I mean, this should have happened maybe 20, 30 seconds ago, where you are engaging the moment that you start seeing that pressure being alleviated. And this is where, I mean, okay, looks like they might be going in now. But again, right, this is where you want. Again, this northern force is kind of doing what they need to, right? They're splitting, disrupting, and then this is where you go in with your main force. Again, kind of going in, but kind of not. I mean, just look how many units you have is kind of standing around. And again, I understand this can happen. But this is one of those things where it's, and again, this group catching themselves that you can see right now, really just kind of in this single, what appears to be kind of choke line. And, ooh, nice kind of back-to-back Shadow Games being thrown down there. Lots of negative perp. But yeah, man, just wild. I can't even see what is happening. Oh, there we go. I was like, hey, did they throw something down? I couldn't even see the giant. I like how they show you the, I don't know if I consider that to be the operating radius. I just like how they show you that, though. It's actually pretty cool. Again, still applying some good pressure up north. And who is that? Inviev or Inviev? And again, this is where, if you're GG83, right, even if you're trying to get out of the operation radius, still, go ahead and just fight from the perimeter, right? Don't just be stagnant in your efforts, right? Spread along here, start hitting all of these units that are overextending, and then, if you need to, right, push in a little bit more. Not from there, but push in more here, right? Look at these units you can hit over here, too, as well, that are just hanging out. That's the thing. You have the numbers. And the challenge is now you're creating a situation where there you go. See, because you're not applying any pressure on them, you're now allowing for them to kind of dictate pace. As such, you can see giant being refocused. Units are now pushing north. They're like, oh, cool, let's just go kill this small little force up here, because you're not really doing anything. Remember, you do not always have to play into your opponent's hands. Sure, they have a Behemoth out, but like we just talked about, you don't have to go in to the Behemoth's operating radius. You push east, and then you do some attacking. You anticipate that as you go deep into the territory, you're probably going to force them out. So you prepare yourselves for, as you're pushing and doing damage, you're just waiting for some of their units to start pushing south out of the radius, and then that's when you can disengage from pushing eastward, and then you either fight and retreat back west with still numbers advantages, right? Again, you create, that's the thing about it, right? Oftentimes is what you're really looking to do in the battlefield is you're looking to create numbers advantages. You're looking to create favorable matchups so the ratios are in your favor. And sometimes just doing things a little bit outside of the box can really pay its dividends. Right, because like I said, now SG and NE, because they're not having any additional pressure put on them, now they're kind of being able to fight this nice little small skirmish that's a little bit more, I don't know if you want to say in their favor, but is at least something that is not, I don't want to say not in their favor, but it's not something that where they're playing into a disadvantage at this point. Let's see where we're at here. Who do we have on the field? We got a lot of Lilias, One there. We do got a tank there for Mad. Lilia, Veln, Kanara, Nikos. You got 2. Some more magic there. Turtlekin. It's a good name. Time Bomb. Nice roll punishment. Okay, let's see what's going on back here. Yeah. I mean, look, at least some of the units are starting to move north to assist and to help out a little bit, right? I mean, that's not a bad heads-up play. But again, look at these units that are just chilling here at the edge, in which you could be picking off just by even moving, like, right here, right? To this tree or to the level 18 Dark Creature. I mean, again, just looking for those opportunities, right? You're kind of just waiting here at the door. You got great numbers. You still pretty much have an advantage, but unfortunately, just not utilizing that advantage. So definitely would love to see some opportunities, I think, there for improvements going forward, right? When you're kind of looking. This is why, you know, we often talk about having someone, at least one person, if not more, who's kind of your on-field general, right? They can kind of do what I'm doing, which is looking at the landscape, assessing where the opportunities are, looking at where to push, when to disengage, when to regroup, when can we start counterattacking, right? Those are the things that I think you really need someone to do. Having a dedicated person, and like we talked about in our SSS1-23 video for the ramp fight, was, you know, even thinking about setting up a separate group chat within your alliance, so that way that can act almost as your kind of secondary alliance chat whenever there's fighting that's happening. So this way, if you're in an alliance, you can move, you can scroll over here on the mini text bubble, and you could slide it over to your alliance chat. So that way you can use that as kind of your real-time PvP chat, right? So anytime you're in a fight or something's about to kick off, you use your alliance chat as your real-time kind of war orders or marching orders chat. And then this way you have the secondary group chat set up that people can just talk about alliance shop / discussion, conversation, dialogue in there until the fighting's done, right? Because it's nice to be able to have some type of a real-time feed when you're fighting, especially if, you know, you're issuing or you're giving out orders, as an example, as kind of the primary on-field commander, or right, anyone else that would be needed to type in such a chat. Okay, dude, looks like GG83 going in now. Don't see, and again, just kind of waiting out the giant cooldown time, which is fine, right? If that's the plan, you want to rely on that. However, I do think they could have been doing a little bit more damage, softening some of those numbers on both sides. Like we talked about, 1, from alleviating some of the pressure up north, and then 2, being able to do some damage down low too as well in the south or that southeast outside of that Behemoth radius or operational area. Dude, here we go. 86 NE dropping the bear, man. There we go. Beastmaster coming out with the bear. Now, I'm wondering, oh, interesting. So this to me seems like this has to be a heads-up call-out. Like, they have to be in voice for this. Either voice or, you know, you got a pretty decent organized group there where you're just saying, look, everyone focus the bear, get it down, and then we'll move on. If that's the case, this was kind of what it seems like. This is kind of sexy, I'm going to be honest, with just watching the focus fire down on the bear. I mean, that's dope. Right now, again, they probably could have done that with the giant as well. Bear in mind, they did not have to group like that. They could have microed and spread out, had a little bit better positioning to take less overall AoE damage, or even just the amount of individuals taking single target damage there from the bear by doing that and then focusing it. Probably like they could have done as well with the giant. But again, you know, sometimes maybe they'll make those calls appropriately. I just think that, again, there could have still been a little bit done prior to it. But GG83, I mean, again, still doing a great job, man. Focus firing the bear down, that was great to watch. That's really how it should be done. You know, when you have a giant that's summoned. You know, sometimes if you can react quick enough, you can start attacking the Behemoth before the Behemoth even makes its first action, even if you're just getting a couple seconds of free DPS in. That still is really good. So here we go with GGPT, 83 and 13, pushing down now into the N60E or we should say 86 NE territory, getting everyone off of that flag. That was pretty cool to watch, I'm not going to lie. And now it's, oh man, I wonder what's going to happen. I mean, to me, it just almost feels as though the guy that went in there with his Madeline, I can't see where he's running. Nan, where is it? Oh, it looked like it was. I probably missed it. Bummer. I would have liked to see that. Yeah, man, some good fighting though. Let's see if we can get some volume up a little bit here. 20. Hopefully that's not too bad. Still pushing and advancing here. I mean, listen, man. I mean, you can make the argument, definitely kind of turning the tides a bit. Now, I don't know if we've seen too many of their previous engagements, but being able to watch this one, where when it started, it seemed numbers-wise, it seemed pretty good, right? I do think there was some opportunities on both sides when it came to, like, I think on the eastern side with 83, pushing north. Someone's gonna make some type of compilation of my yawn counter. I'm telling you, man, I actually had decent sleep today. Kills me though. That's the life with kids, as they say. But man, dude, Zod. Jeez, putting in that tank work there, and look at that. You see all those little negative white numbers, right, for everyone that's getting that counterattack damage there from the Madeline. It's not bad, man. They are pushing down deeper right now, getting those units in to come and start doing the flag destroying. 1 hour. Interesting. So I wonder if they made the call, like saying, look, we're not going to go too deep. We'll go in. We'll get some hits off. I actually think it would have been cool to see them do some type of like deep dive run. See how far they can go into enemy territory. Until they end up losing some more of their units, or a decent amount of the force, and then pulling back. So I saw it done a few times in a few other groups. Again, I'm not saying it's it's the smartest thing to do. Yeah, I think sometimes it's just fun to see people do that. They'll take 50, 70, 80, or 100 legions, and they'll just kind of walk through almost like it's a parade for them, and then obviously just trying to focus and paying attention to any units that come out of the cities to attack those, or any that want to. Cool. We got any GG83 still doing some work here. I mean, that's the thing, man. 83 has enough, right? So, bear in mind, they don't necessarily need to pull back. I think if we're looking at the area, right, I think what I would probably do is form a line here. Something like this, where you could still be paying attention to any units that might be flanking from that coastline, but also any that might go internally or on the inside route and out, to try and either work around the force, maybe get to some of the units on the flag, or even if it's just looking for opportunities to attack, right? Those can also lead to opportunities from the 83 side, right, on areas to hit. Or I'm sorry, excuse me, the NESG side. Yeah, man, dude, they are in right now. I mean, I don't know how deep they are flag. Was it 2-3 flags? Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, they got the destroy. 54 minutes. That bad boy will be done. I wonder if they're going to maybe use this opportunity to... And I guess it will be interesting. Will they build? Or will they destroy, build? Or destroy and build at the same time? Like, maybe they pop one off here. Or they wait for the flag to get removed, and then they build where the flag was, and then go ahead and work to destroy that one. So, yeah, I guess it will be interesting. Definitely fighting here deep in the corner. Oh man, some of them are going in. Oh, dude, nice shadow games up front. That Royal Punishment there was pretty nice. It still seems to be a pretty confident mage meta right now from what we've been seeing. not too much physical DPS, mostly mage, especially in those last 2 fights, last 2 or 3 fights that we saw, are predominantly focusing a little bit more there on kind of that magic DPS there for mage builds. A lot of units. All right, man, where were we at? We're almost 21 minutes here right now. I mean, listen, I think we're pretty much about Dunsky. This has been awesome to watch. Again, pardon my lovely and what I hope to be subtly indiscriminate yawns, which are, again, testament to that father life there. But this, I will say this, right? Regardless of how the PvP and how the matches go and kind of where they lean, I am always excited to watch as much PvP as I can, right? I'm a big believer that we have nowhere near maxed out our potential for the quality of PvP that we've been seeing, along with where we can go further. And, kind of my age-old thing of always mentioning something about counterattack damage. My brief mention is always, right, I would just love to see them remove it so we can kind of see what that true skill would be like of players having to be truly accountable by if you're online and you're getting attacked, you're not doing any damage back to them, right? You literally have to sign on, click your unit, and then click that unit that you want to attack that is attacking you before you'll do any damage. And so, I think when you look at it like that, the opportunity for when you consider, a free-to-play player could basically, kill whale legions. And we're talking in the extreme examples. But you could have someone who's a pure free-to-play, regardless of how long it takes, right? But they still, right? You still could kill a whale's legion without taking any damage at all. And that could just be because maybe they're not paying attention, right? Maybe something happened and, they had to step away for a sec. Right, whatever it may be. And again, that's why I'm giving a very extreme, right, type of situation. But the idea behind it is that it holds people accountable and responsible, where the hope is that if you see legions out in the field in these types of kingdoms, then that should indicate that person is active, they're ready for anything, and they're attentive, right, to their surroundings and what's going on. So anyways, with that in mind, I am going to leave it to you here. I will, as always, pass the question out to you, man. What did you guys think about this fight? Again, I loved it, being able to kind of see the 2 skirmishes. I love kind of seeing the macro play out with the northern attacks, right, applying some pressure as well on the eastern forces, and then you eventually have GG83 and others going in for the full commit and getting to a point now where, again, it looks good for them, at least in their current position, and seeing now if they're going to be able to push some more flags out, build their own, and then kind of pushing a little bit more going southeast to east here in Nivola. So that's going to do it for me. As always, until next time, I will catch you later.